My name's Previn Singh, and I head the DLT Centre of Competency at Credit Suisse. That's a really good question. I think what made it for me was the fact that it has a wide variety of speakers. It's not just banks, it's not just fintechs, it's not just regulators. It's a good combination of all of those things. Plus the fact you had the ESG dimension on Monday. So that was a good variety of speakers. So if you're interested in variety and learning a few things, this is a good venue for that. So I spoke on the fintech topic, talking about stable coins and cryptocurrencies. The reason I think it was so impactful was that a lot of people have an understanding of these things, but they don't really know the differences between, say, a stable coin and a crypto asset. So it was an opportunity to demystify a lot of this stuff. And I think a lot of the issues we face relate to a lack of understanding. And the first step in working with something or regulating something is to understand it. And I think that was one of the reasons I quite enjoyed that particular talk. The other reason I liked it was that we had a combination of speakers there. We had some pure play fintechs. We had a investment bank who's quite well regulated, such as my one. And we had an exchange on there as well. So it was a wide variety of players there, all with different points of view. So it led to a much more interesting debate. Yeah, no, I think I think it's one of the strong points actually for this. It's definitely one of the strengths of this particular forum. The variety of speakers has been fantastic, and I think also the caliber of some of the speakers in terms of senior governmental officials, chairman of the SEC, we had MPs, we had MEPs. I think it's a great combination of top flight opinion formers and thought leaders. So yeah, I think it is absolutely one of the strengths of this forum. Yeah, I think the return to the physical venue, I think that's been absolutely fantastic. I think you don't really realise how much you miss it until you come back to it. I thought we were getting by okay on Zoom. We've done a few of these things over the last 2 years on Zoom, and they're not as good. They're really not as good. Too scripted, and everybody has to take it in turns to speak on Zoom, otherwise you're just talking over each other. It doesn't really work. And a small square on a screen isn't the same as being face-to-face with people and being able to react on the fly. The venue itself is fantastic as well. I think it really does lend itself to large groups of people. I think the logistics have been fantastic as well. And I think, yeah, it's great coming back into the real world and doing these things face-to-face. So I couldn't really recommend it any more, really. So I think you started dipping your toe in the water when it comes to slightly more outer fringe aspects, which for me is my day job, but things like distributed ledger and blockchain and digital assets. You started talking about those. You had about 3 sessions this afternoon on those. I think next year it might be worthwhile just introducing a few more that people have been reading about and perhaps heard about in conversation. Things like NFTs, non-fungible tokens, potentially metaverse as well, and I'm sure there's a few others as well, maybe digital assets in a bit more detail. Maybe central bank digital currencies as well, actually. So I think those 3, NFTs, metaverse, central bank digital currencies might be good ones, especially given we're in London, which is so well connected with all of those things, technology-wise, central bank-wise, policy-wise. Yeah, this is where it's all happening.